Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Overcomers Rechurch Sessions, and we have our guest today, Donnie. How you doing, my brother?
Yo, what's up, guys? How are you?
Sure, Donald.
Good. Nobby, how you doing, my brother?
Always, bro.
Good.
Always. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we've got our guest today, Pastor Donald.
Yeah.
And we just want to know more about you, man. We want to know about how you grew up. We want to know about you. So tell us a little bit about Donnie, where you come from, everything, my brother. Share with us.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Yes, the name is Donald, and yeah, I'm so grateful to be part of the session today. Welcome to everyone who's joining. Okay, so you guys say you want to know more about me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's getting personal, yeah? Hardly.
Yeah.
Okay, so name, Donald, age, 27. Is that all?
No, man. Actually,
Hey, Donald.
we want to get to the crux of the matter here, man.
Okay,
we want
yeah.
to know, like, as in where Donnie comes from, how he
Okay.
grew up, you know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, I love to like break the ice. That's why I really love to laugh a lot. So I don't need to be serious. I'll be like ugly. So yeah. By the way, let me just jump straight into it. Name Donald, 27, turning 28 this year. So this is my story. I once shared this story before, but yeah, today it's a retweet. Let's say retweet again.
Cool.
So I grew up. I was born in Zimbabwe. That's where I was born, and born in a family of 5, and such awesome people. Anyway, and really growing up in Zim, it's because let me just kind of describe what Zim is like. Zimbabwe is a peaceful country, really a very, very nice country to be in. People think that Zimbabwe is just a place of stones, etc., because they just think it's mountains. Like what more other countries think about Africa, they just think it's a jungle and we pet
Think we live with
lions,
animals
stuff like
and-
that. Yeah. Yeah. So I grew in Zim. Went to Baptist Church. I grew up there. My dad introduced me to United Baptist Church. I was staying in Mutare, and that's how I loved and that's how I knew God. First, there's this other white guys that came, and I really loved them. So in Zim, basically, the white churches those times were very little. And I grew up, I went to school, went to Chancellor Primary School. It's in Mutare. Such a beautiful school to learn on. And I started, I would think I was grade 5, and I was invited to a Lighthouse Christian church. It's a white burst church, etc. And this, because when I grew up, my dad, because of history, because of what happened to him, he really didn't see eye to eye with the whites. He really hated white people, to be very honest with you, because of what had happened in the past. And I grew up with those kind of teachings of a white person just want to use you, white person just want to do this, and white person just want to do this to you. And really it was hard, but stuff changed when I went to the Lighthouse Christian Church. They did a session like what we do here on EDCC with the youth. So they were like, if you bring a friend, they will give you points. If you remember a verse, they'll give you points.
Yeah.
If you reach specific points, they give you a cup full of, you go to the shop with your points and then you buy what you want.
Okay.
So really, to me, I started seeing the other side of the white guys. Really, it's when I grew up, it was like, I don't want to see white people. They destroyed our wealth because according to my dad, it's like they shot over 50 cows, and it's it's generational. That's how we were raised. But I grew up and I didn't hate white people, to be very honest with you. But I just had those question marks. I wasn't ready yet to be mentored with a white guy kind of vibe. But this changed. Now I'm just gonna do a fast forward. I then gave my life to Jesus. Things were not nice. They were, let's say, moderate.
Because as we understand here, from our standpoint in South Africa, we view Zimbabwe as like this place that's riddled and like with poverty,
Yeah,
and you know what I
yeah.
mean. So, how like growing up in that kind of like situation? How was it growing up there?
Yeah, it's devastating. That's the word. To be quite honest with you, there were times that. Okay, let me just go a bit more personal now. When I went to Chancellor Primary, I was the only child with a different uniform amongst all the kids. See, and it wasn't nice because even those black kids would be laughing at you. See, so I grew up as someone who was laughed at with kids, and it really broke me into, like, it places you into a place of isolation. You feel like you live in your own world. You
become ostracized. By
exactly.
the
I
kids.
mean, it wasn't nice at all. But this is, let's just say it's 50%. I'm gonna go to where I was down to like 10 or 5%. At least I was going to school. At least that's where I learned English, you see. And my dad and my mom did everything in their power to make me go to school, you see. So I went to Mutare Boys High School, one of the brightest, and it didn't kind of work out. And this is when things started getting weird, because we had to move from town to the rural areas now, my family, because I think if you follow Zimbabwe, it had this time when money was in trillions, and then all the money people had saved in banks was just taken away. It just froze. And for us, it changed our life, because my mom, my dad, had saved everything in each and every one child's account. I had my own money in my account, and everything was frozen by the government. So basically, all his lifetime savings were just gone like that, just like that. And it changed my life from the town to a rural life. Then we moved to the rural life, and he started a little shop. And he was kind of struggling, and then I started going to rural schools, and this is where I did my secondary school. And fortunately, I managed to pass my education, but things were not nice. That is it's kind of the fall down. And then years came by, and I had Tino and Chennai. They had to walk, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 8 kilos every day.
Oh, okay.
So, with all of this happening, how does it affect your relationship with God at the time when all of this is happening?
To be honest, I think I've been a solid rock to Jesus. I mean, to God. God has taken me places even when I was the most poorest. That's something that God has done with me. I think that's some of the reason why God chose my family to remove it from Zim and bring it here in SA. So, in the midst of that poverty, I didn't lose my trust in God. I questioned Him a lot. I was like, Father, yeah, you're there, but what's
Why is this
happening?
happening to us?
Yeah, I mean, why? Because it's from a middle life to a low level life. I mean, actually, it wasn't that worse that time. It was because we still had a little shop Mom was renting, and it was better. And things got hectic. I finished my Form 4. It's kind of a metric here. I don't know. I passed, and then I wanted to go. There is in Zimbabwe, there's like a stage you go for 2 years, and then you can go to university, or you can skip directly. But I was bright. I wanted to go the 2 years extra, and then I can go to university. And then this is when things just started going bad, and the shop closed, and my mom, my dad could not be able to support Tino, Tendai, with school fees. And one of my dad's brothers took Tendai, took him to school. And Tino and Chennai, one of my dad's brothers, took them. And it was only me most of the time. My other sister, Mavis, was here, and she was in South Africa. She was just here. And let's say it was just the three of us, me, my mom, and my dad. And it was hectic, and we moved. So this is what I have seen that God does, because He has done this in my life. Everything crumbled down, but there was just one step ahead, because Mom had just bought a stand so that we can build there, and then everything crippled down. Now we shifted again from the rural place to my mom's sister's place. And then the stand was clear, wide open. It was just the jungle. And things got hectic, and me and my dad, just the two of us, had to move from where we were staying. And then we pitched a tent, a small plastic. And mosquitoes were charring us like crazy. I mean, that was the worst nightmare ever in my life, because we were down to nothing.
What kept you going throughout all of these trials and tribulations that you were facing?
I would say God just came through over time, from time to time, because to me it's like when we didn't have anything to eat, someone would just come and say, "Hey guys, do you want some work? Because I want my stand to be cleared." That was me and my dad. My education qualifications, I put them aside, and I had to go down that route. And it's like we just had money to eat, to provide food on the table. And my brother and my sister, they came back because it was hard to everyone now. And this is what happened. We started making bricks as a family. We molded. I don't know how to even put this into proper English. It's like we made bricks, and then farm bricks, and then you bend them, and then we sell them. That's what was happening. We bake them until they have the rightful color. And most people think poverty is just not getting what to eat, etc. But there is more to it. There is real suffering in people's lives. There is devastating stories that if it was my brother here, Munabis, maybe you wouldn't have survived. I became kind of depressed and suicidal. I never told my mentor, but fortunately today I'm going to speak about it. And I was like, I finally gave up. As this is just not working. Because I tried going back to school. I go and look for a place for school. They say, with your grades, you have a place here, just the money. When I want to get the money, things don't come right. I was taken to another institute to do mechanics. Passed everything, but for me to go to a third level to get a degree, money was needed, and no one was able to provide for that. It broke me down, but I kept going. And in the midst of all of this, I still preached the word of God, and I was the one who was preaching about never giving up. So one thing which was very, very solid in my life is the faith that I had in God. I just believed I'm going to stay. I'm just going to stay in the Lord's presence. And one thing that God does as well is He makes sure He has people who communicate with you, who gives you hope. Because each and every time I served with all my heart. And from time to time, you hear this guy saying, I have a word for you from God. He's just saying, don't give up. God will uplift your family one day. Don't give up. Don't think 2 months, think of years. And with me, it kept me going. So God made sure there is a word in my life that I just hanged on. And really, I was patient enough to stand with the promises, with the prophecies as well from God, and it kept me going from day by day.
Wow. That's incredible. I like the resilience of this man here.
Yeah. Man, I'm hearing that you're flooding questions in, bro. So I'm just giving you the chance to express it. Dude, I got multiple questions for you.
Listening.
I hope the viewers back there actually understood that the background of growing up in poverty is actually something that you need to, take into consideration, because not a lot of people have the opportunity to actually get whatever they want in life. It's just hard. And what I could tell in conclusion about this guy's background right here is that he ended up being an overcomers, and look where he is. I think he's the leader of EDCC, and he's holding your children.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I'm just gonna pop, out a little bit on your background, because you've given enough about your background, and we actually highly appreciate that. Judging from EDCC, the leaders of EDCC, right?
Yep.
And the question I have for you is that, as the leader of the EDCC, how does it feel, how can I put it? Like, how does it feel working with like 500 to 14K children each and every event? How does it feel?
To be quite honest, I've dealt with 500. I've dealt with almost 1,000.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good experience, guys. Let me tell you something. With the EDCC, it's my joy
Yeah.
to work with these kids in underprivileged kids. It's my joy from the bottom of my heart. You can ask my brother. There is not even one moment I regret when I'm with these kids. There's not even one. I cherish every moment. I put my whole being into it because remember one thing, maybe one, maybe two among us 500 is going through what I went through. See, but what also inspired me is seeing how others did not lose hope, how perseverance makes you to reach your goals. You see, so that's what happens to me when I'm with these kids. I try to be as loving as possible because remember, I was one of the kids and I really hated whites. But I had a white guy who was a friend to me, and it changed my view of how I perceive whites. I mean, because even when I'm with the kids, I tell them, when you go to a hospital, let's say you need blood transfusion, do you select you want a black person's blood or a white person's blood?
Yeah, but okay.
Exactly.
Sure.
And I teach them. I make sure it's not about the color.
And
I've seen the greatest part that I love about EDCC is making a change in someone's life. There are kids who used to drink alcohol when they were even young. Surprisingly, I think this is last year, one of our previous testimonies, we had a kid, he's a boy. I'm not going to talk about his name. And he says, Donald, it was Christmas, Tino? I think Christmas or New Year. He called Tino and says, Tino, bruh, I wish I was there. I just wish I was with you guys. And let's just talk. And I'm like, why? He says, everyone is drunk. And it's kind of a culture for every kid to kind of drink during Christmas. I mean, praise God, we have Operation Safe Place and we do our camps in December during this holiday. Man. And to me, it made a huge difference of seeing someone now being able to resist alcohol, being able to resist drugs just because they've seen a teaching from EDCC. And there's plenty of kids that say we really are changing. They want to be here almost every single day.
So I've got a little question for you here. Now, I understand in the EDCC you guys are responsible for shaping young minds and you know getting them into the right perspective. But as a leader, what is your vision for the EDCC? What is your vision? What do you see the EDCC becoming within the next 5 years or so? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take it?
To be honest, I think we're going to grow. I'm being serious. It's just for now. I think that's why my mentor was saying he's looking for a place for us to actually launch thousands and thousands and thousands. Because this space we are, it's because I remember when my mentor came to me and he said, Donald, I see you guys are like, because we do 100 kids every Sunday.
Okay.
And trust me, it's not 100. It's about 110, 120 every Sunday.
Yeah.
And so where I see myself is like the core of my heart wants to open as many EDCCs as possible. You see, it's not like we just want to focus on our neighboring or our nearest location. No, it's not like that. But this is important, guys, the more manpower, the more sponsors, the more money we get, the more we can go outside. See, because for now we're operating under 100-kilometer radius.
Okay.
You see, that's why you see we went to Poch, we went to Sasol, and Sasol had like 900 to 1,000 kids. We went to Koppies, we went to Vredefort. You see, we are going all around. But in the next 5 years, I would say I'm praying from the bottom of my heart that we have more manpower, more sponsors, more leaders, and we will go out. And I see myself not only being able to have raised a lot of leaders, but being able to have established a lot of EDCCs out there. See, because they really help.
Yeah, because I met this other young man. He was very interesting. He's a young guy, but I could hear, man, this kid has got something. They've got like something. You know what I mean? So for people that don't know, what are some of the activities that you guys do at like maybe an EDCC function or something like that?
Okay, let me take you to our not program as such, but just fun and games. So we have the famous tug of war. We all kind of know it. We play soccer. At least, let's say, majority knows what soccer is about. It's when people are just playing with this round thing, kicking it, trying to score. Yeah. And we have. I'm not gonna disclose this other leader of mine. Is very good. He's teaching us now experiential learning. So he basically gives you a story, and then he gives you kind of some clues, and you have to team build, think what you're going to do, etc. We have a fit in the box game. That means, okay, so I'm just going to cut it. Okay, sorry, that was Tanya. So basically, fit in the box. It's like you get 20 kids, you make them fit in one small box, kind of vibe, so that they have to think teamwork. They don't have to think about themselves. One of the most important things is to cut the selfishness in kids and make them depend on each other. So that's basically a lot of stuff, but unfortunately I don't think I have a lot of time. Yeah. Tanya's like, hey, cut it, hey. Yeah, you want me to cut my neck?
I was very impressed, man, when I met this kid, man. I was very impressed. I was like, there's something that, you know, they absorb something from you guys, from their leadership, you know what I mean? So I'm glad to have you here, man.
Yeah,
Really
thank you
glad
guys,
to
and I really want to do a shout out to everyone who is making this vision possible. I'm really personally, I am grateful. I don't even know if I can have words to thank you, but I'm just gonna go to the basic. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is personal for reaching out for give whatever you're giving. Some give clothes, man, and. One of the days, sorry, I'm just going to eat your time. I was in town and I had these three, I think it's street kids. And they're like, Donald. And then I'm like, hey guys, what are you doing? And then we have established a level to these kids that even when they see you in their worst, they are not afraid to approach. And they were like, Donald, we don't have shoes. Can we come? I'm like, Sunday it is, brother. Come, because it was a Saturday night. I'm like, tomorrow the bus is coming. We're going to fetch you. We're going to clothe you. Like, yeah, I'm going to come there, etc. So to me, it's not just us, the EDCC or the main vision doing this. It's the sponsors out there. This is a shout out to you guys. It's you guys making this possible. Really, you are important, and I believe God is going to reward you. He says your reward is not here on earth, it's there in heaven. And I believe these seeds that you have sown in our lives, in this EDCC kids, is going to be great. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, man, thank you very much, guys. It was actually really nice having y'all here. Shout out the background, Tanya and Veronica there. We see y'all. That was the people, high band. Yeah, and the camera folks there, Tino and all them. Yeah, man, it was really nice having you here, dude. We really enjoyed it and your background and your impact throughout these children. Man, I hope one day you make millions and millions of children happy. Thanks, Ace, man.
Thank you
very
guys.
much.
Thank you, Donald.
Sure. Be safe. Love you. This is personal. I love you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.